Hey guys, it's Brandon Chambers here, owner of ShouKenDou Dojo and founder of ShouKenDou Karate. And I just had a thought that I should make a quick video series breaking down what ShouKenDou is and is not, and specifically what it means and what it takes to be a ShouKenDou black belt, right? This first video is all about what the different levels of black belt mean, right? There's first degree, second degree, third degree. You can think of it as level 1, level 2, level 3 black belt, right? And it goes on up, but we're mostly going to talk about those first three because those are the three you have to test for. Everything beyond that is purely ceremonial and just based on time and rank and how much you've been giving back to the style. Let's dive in. First Dan black belt is 75% about demonstrating knowledge and skill and 25% about looking at how you've helped others and given back to the style. Second Dan is 50% about your knowledge and your skill and 50% about helping others on their martial arts journey. And then third Dan, third degree, is 25% about demonstrating improved knowledge and skill and 75% about how are you giving back and helping others on their martial arts journey. So it's inverted. First and third degree are inverted on percentages for that. And the tests for these three different degrees, they reflect that, right? The test and the preparation that takes place beforehand. So for first degree black belt, the application is broken down into a series of essays that you began writing at red belt. The preparation is to learn the core curriculum of ShouKenDou karate, including strikes, blocks, kicks, kata, defenses, all that, and then show that you're assisting in classes to help others on their journey. At the test itself, it's our mission as proctors, right, the people on the board, to break down whatever shell you've got so we can see what lies underneath. A first Dan black belt is the most physically exhausting test in ShouKenDou. It kicks off with a 5-mile run that is expected to be completed in 50 minutes or less, followed by 100 push-ups and sit-ups. Then, after bowing, 90 minutes of strikes, blocks, and kicks, and you're supposed to maintain energy throughout that whole thing. After that, testers will demonstrate every kata in the core curriculum, everything from white belt to first Dan. Testers are also going to demonstrate their understanding of the core weapons in our style. That's bow and eskrima. And then they also get to choose a weapon of their choice and choreograph a form of their own invention. They can choose any weapon they want. It's really fun. After that, usually testers engage in a thesis defense, which is when the board gets to question them and say, hey, I read this in your essay. What do you think of that? Or what's your experience of this? What do you think of this in martial arts? All that kind of stuff. After the thesis defense, we go through our defenses library and our flow drills against partners. Then testers are going to go up against a wide variety of opponents and they're going to spar where their endurance is going to be pushed past their preconceived notions of their limits. Finally, they break 12 boards with a variety of kicks and punches to demonstrate power even in exhaustion. And it's a long test, takes about 6 or 7 hours. Second Dan has more requirements ahead of time. Applicants must demonstrate a keen ability to teach by this point, having at least 200 assisting hours. They must also have earned 2 of the 5 black belt patches. These are patches that have their own separate requirements. It's kind of like a skill tree in a video game. Writing essays on those patches is part of the application. On test day, second Dan prospects begin the test the same as the first Dan prospects. 5-mile run, followed by 100 push-ups and sit-ups. During the strikes, blocks, and kicks and kata sections, the second Dans are not pushed as hard as the first Dans, right? They already went through their hazing, basically. They proved themselves, and now they get to go a little lighter on this, right? They get to lead sections of the test to demonstrate leadership, and they're allowed to skip a few of the kata chosen ahead of time. Though they do have a few new kata that they have to perform as well, right? Their thesis defense, sparring, one-steps, defenses, board breaking, those all look the exact same as first Dan. They might do a little bit less sparring than our first degrees will. Third Dan black belt has the most requirements ahead of testing. You need all 5 black belt patches. Those should be earned ahead of the test. This requires extensive time leading classes, studying independently, grappling, learning weapons, and getting in shape. Third Dan prospects are expected to facilitate their own exam. Right? Part of your test is to proctor a black belt exam. This requires extensive preparation ahead of time. A third Dan's test is a highlight reel. They'll perform fewer strikes, blocks, kicks, and kata than the first or second Dan students. They'll be calling most of the shots. Most of their test is leading the test of the others. and making sure things operate smoothly. They'll engage in the thesis defense just like the others, but they'll be a bit less involved in defenses and one-steps. They'll do about as much sparring as the second degrees, but not as much as the first degrees. And they will, just like the others, break 12 boards at the end. Then the third Dan, who is the person testing for third Dan, will lead the deliberation in the back room for the younger ranks, the first degrees and second degrees. They'll leave the room once it's time for them to be considered, but they're meant to lead the discussion for the others. The Board of Advancement is divided into two groups, voting members and honorary members. Voting members are those black belts who helped found the style of ShouKenDou, plus any others who have been promoted to black belt in ShouKenDou karate. Those are the only people that get to vote. Honorary members are high-ranking martial artists in other styles. While they don't get a vote, we have a discussion before the vote to talk about what we're doing strong and weak as a school, what we can improve. We get their feedback, we want to hear from them so that we can do better. We also invite our honorary board members to sign the certificates of those being promoted if they feel comfortable with it. After deliberation is complete, the promotion ceremony is held and the test is concluded. So there you have it. That's the difference between first, second, and third degree black belt tests. Not too terribly different, but third degree, as you heard, is much more based on leadership, and first degree is much more about knowledge and skill.